getting bred, and we knew DMT is one of the most prestigious organizations of India. So guys, before I start on whatever I'm going to talk about, let's give yourselves a very big hand, because you guys are the champions and you are part of a big legacy, which is in the form of DMT and now IMU. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I've been a visiting faculty in IMU as well many years back, and now I have the opportunity to engage with you, talk to you. Thank you, sir, for pointing out. And I'm going to tell you something that in the next 20 minutes that I talk, the first 20 minutes I'm going to talk to you about something which is absolutely out of syllabus. And none of these questions will come from what I talk, none of these questions will come in your examinations, but I'm going to talk to you about success mantras and how you can be really successful in your life. So this is the first 20 minutes, and the next 10 minutes I'm going to talk to you about something which is very unique, a program that we are doing, and a program that will give you an opportunity to shine in front of the whole world. So that is the last 10 minutes. So are we ready? So first, a big round of applause for these back-end people, boys and girls. We should always cherish the support and the work done for the people behind the scenes. Because if it's not for them, then we could not actually see what's going on in the screen. So thank you. Right, so we start. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. How many of you, so I'll start now. How many of you really want to become wealthy? Everyone. Okay. How many of you really want to become successful? How many of you want to become wealthy but not successful? This question will just confuse you. So we have a distorted kind of vision. Some of us have a very distorted vision, and we understand that we are made to believe that if we are longing to be wealthy, it is some kind of a sin. But believe me, I have spoken to a lot of wealthy people, even Shoukat, and he talks like, "Mujhe chahiye itna wealth." So there is no problem and there is no sin in wanting wealth in abundance. The sin comes when this want of wealth comes in between your happiness, right? So if this want of wealth is destroying your happiness, then it's a problem. So today I'm going to talk to you, and this is a program that we launched a few years back. It is called MICE, and this is perhaps more than 200 times I've spoken to people on stage about team talks. This program is called Team Talks, where we talk, we motivate, we inspire, we communicate, and we energize. So it's called MICE. And these team talks are to learn from you, not only to give you these success mantras. And I'm going to talk to you today. And I don't believe in heavy PPTs, okay? I don't believe in large PPTs where there is so much of content. So I'm only going to show you some pictures. And we are going to talk about these pictures, okay? So the first picture is the mice. And we are going to talk to you about success. And when I say about success, and I'm going to bring in real life stories to you about people who have been successful. So one of my hobbies is to spend my time with people who are really successful, really wealthy, really successful. जिसका नाम है, शौहरत है, सब कुछ है. And being with them has taught me some common factors that these people have. Right? So if I have to name 50 people who are really successful, really wealthy, really got the dreams made for themselves, there are certain common things which I have observed in all of them. And today we are going to tell you what these common things are, and you sort of compare and see whether you have these, and if you don't, then I will give you the mantra where you practice these, and probably there is a 90% chance you will be as successful, even more than them. Okay? So we start with the first mantra of success. The first mantra of success is giving your 100%. I want to ask you this question. How many of you give your 100%? When you're working, when you're studying, and let's be honest, okay, and nothing that you say here or nothing that you think here will be taken against you in any way. So it is just a discussion. How many of you are honestly saying, have to be honest saying that you give your 100% in whatever you do? How many of you? None of you? Okay, very good. Thank you. That's good. Well done. And do you think 100% is enough? Do you think 100% is enough? So in this age, let me tell you, 100% is just the starting line. In this age, when you go for a competitive exam, you will probably find 100% of the people who have given in 100%. Then how does the ranking happen? How are you becoming successful when everybody else is giving 100% similar to you? And that is where that extra 1% comes. So in all the people that I have seen successful, I have seen one thing very common, that they give that 1% extra. So ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, it's very, very nice to say boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, because when we were growing up, I could not say ladies and gentlemen because there was no ladies in the audience. And now I see a lot of girls behind me and in front of me, and wherever I go I see so many women in the industry. We feel nice, like everybody else, and see, I can openly say ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls. So that 1%, giving 100% gets you to the starting line. But what sets you apart is that extra mile which nobody is asked you to run. And believe me, if you follow this extra 1 mile nobody will ask you to run. And when you are in front of the teacher, when you are in front of your parents, when you are in front of your guru, you can actually give 110%. The correct way and the thing that counts is that 1% which you give when nobody is looking. That 1% you give which nobody is looking. And believe me, I was talking to a world-class athlete a few years back, and he has represented Olympics for his nation. And we were discussing about his practice sessions when he was practicing. And his coach was talking to me, and he said that he practices such that failure is never an option. So you are practicing in order to succeed. Not only in order to succeed, you are actually practicing making negative failure. You are practicing as if there is no failure. So that is the level of practice that you see behind the scenes when you go and when you see these actual winners who win people or who win medals. How many of you know the story of Roger Bannister? Anybody knows the story? And this is actually out of syllabus. Anybody knows the story of Roger Bannister? Okay. There was a time when it was decided that it is humanly impossible, that as a human being, it is impossible to run 1 mile less than 4 minutes. Doctor said, as far as human constitution is concerned, you cannot run, the human body cannot take it, and you cannot run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. But Roger Bannister in 1954 proved it wrong. Even after a lot of failures, he trained his body, mind and soul, and he ran under 4 minutes. And believe me, this under 4 minutes run for 1 mile had never ever happened. But the day he ran 1 mile under 4 minutes, in a matter of 6 months, 40 athletes ran under 4 minutes. 40 athletes ran under 4 minutes because they saw Roger Bannister run within 4 minutes. Now, if you see this as a case study, Roger Bannister actually was not competing with anybody else. Roger Bannister was competing with himself. The only adversity, the only competition that you have, boys and girls, is yourself. And this is what I see common to all successful people. And then when I asked them, they said, "Apna koi competition nahi hai. The only liability I have in my life as Captain Shoukat Mukherjee is being true to myself. And I compete with myself." The reason is, the day you tell yourself that mera koi competition nahi hai, I am my only competitor, that day you will be able to give that 1 extra mile. And this is so important, this is so valuable. What is the name, all of you, what is the name of the new sensation in cricket which IPL made? They did 100 runs in 35 minutes, 35 balls? Everybody knows why. You know why? And now I tell parents, from yesterday and day before, I've been telling parents, do not take the example of Vaibhav and put pressure on your son and daughters कि आपको वैभव की तरह बनना है. वैभव की तरह नहीं बनना है. Because Vaibhav is just a miracle. Vaibhav is Vaibhav in his own way. You are you in your own way. I am I in my own way. Why do I need to become a Vaibhav? I have to excel my own expectations and beliefs. And then only I will shine above everybody else. So now you might be thinking this lecture is frivolous. This lecture. But I am actually giving you this lecture because I am telling you these real life stories. When I talk to people, I find that the only competitor they have is within themselves. Their own beliefs, their own mindsets. Roger Bannister didn't defeat anybody. He defeated his own belief that he could not. But once he made himself believe that he could do 1 mile below 4 minutes, he won that. So it's very important. It's a huge case study, right? Next. Okay, so everyone was giving 100%, but we took that extra 1% of belief, grit, and refusal to accept limits to change the world. The limit was never 4 minutes, the limit was his own belief, right? So, this is something I wrote a few years back. The world doesn't remember who did enough. It remembers those who did more than enough. And the ones who gave that extra bit, that extra second, that extra mile, that extra coverage, that extra belief, that extra impetus, that extra calorie, and no one was watching is the person who emerges at the end. This is my first learning that I'm going to tell you. These are all my learnings. I have benefited hugely in my life. Give that extra one bit even when nobody is looking. Because you are true to yourself. Nobody else will want that extra person from you. You have to give it to yourself, to your dedication, to your belief, in order to shine. Right? This brings me to my second point, and I've been having a discussion with Sir before when I was sitting down with him over a cup of tea now. This is something which I hugely value. Being in the Government of India's task force for Sagar Mein Samman, that is women in maritime, we work very deeply to promote women in maritime. Okay? And a lot of it happens because we do not actually have that consciousness to respect women. Right from the time, and now things are changing. Things are changing towards the positive. It's very nice. But I'll give you a small example, and these are all real life examples that I'm using. I don't want to use examples from AI, and I don't want you to go to ChatGPT and tell me examples of this. No, I will tell you the real life examples, learnings from my real life examples. So I was in V-Ships working for 10 years as the head of compliance, and we were recruiting cadets from a very reputed institute, and we were taking the interviews final interviews where all the cadets were sitting in front of me, and there were about 24 boys, and a few years back, and we were asking each one of them to introduce themselves. So somebody said, I am the son of a pilot. Somebody said, I am the son of a farmer. Somebody said, my father is a goldsmith. Somebody said, my father is in the merchant navy. Somebody said, my father is a doctor. My father is an engineer. My father is a psychologist. My father is this. My father is that. My father is this. But it went on till 24 people introduced themselves as being the son of their fathers. Not a single person talked about his father. Not a single person. And everybody was clapping, and they didn't realize that not a single person said, my mother is a housewife. Deep, consciously deep inside you, आप झांक के देखो, आपको कोई पूछेगा ना, आप क्या करते हो, आपका आइडेंटिटी क्या है? The first thing that comes into your mind is, my father is a pilot. How many of you have introduced yourself saying that my mother is a housewife? How many of you? Actually tell me. See, only 2 girls. The 2 hands raised are that only 2 girls. So, boys and girls, very big lesson. All the successful people I have seen in my life are respectful of women. If you don't respect women, the world will not respect you. Right? And like I was talking to sir, सोच बदलो, दुनिया बदल जाएगा. अगर सोच नहीं बदलेगा ना, तो दुनिया नहीं बदलेगी. I will give you one more example. And this is again a real life. It happened 3 days back. So we are shifting homes in Mumbai, and my wife was in consultation with an interior decorating company, right? So inviting them to come to our house, inviting them for us to go to their shop and decide on interior decoration. So she was talking, and this interior design company is one of the biggest in India. You know, like it's flamboyant, it's big, and bada naam hai. And when my wife said, "Listen, I want to go to your experience center, and I want to talk to you about interior designing," and that guy on the other line said, unfortunate for me that the guy was Bengali, but not taking any names, not taking any names of anybody. He said to my wife, "Madam, please bring somebody who can take decisions also with you." And you know, my wife is an HR professional for 25 years at the highest level. And my wife couldn't believe what this guy was saying. He said, "What are you saying? Say again." He said, "Ma'am, अब जब आओगे, कोई decision maker को आपके सामने लाना, आपके पास मतलब आपके साथ में लाना." He said, "Don't you think I can take my own decisions?" And then she raised a complaint online, and the next day the HR called my wife and saying, "We are very sorry, you have a problem." He said, "I don't have a problem with that person who told me this. Because आप लोग का organization culture में diversity conversation सिखाया नहीं गया. You have assumed that I am a person from the kitchen. You have assumed that I am not a decision maker because I am a woman. You have assumed that it's only the man who takes the decision." Imagine, सोच बदलो. अगर सोच नहीं बदलोगे तो इंडिया नहीं बदलेगा. You know, I will show you one more. How many of you are from actually rural areas of India? You will know better than me, and when I talk to you about rural, the India का जो पहचान है ना, वो urban नहीं है. And when we talk about women empowerment and women respect and a lot of big things about women, unconsciously we are talking about them. Women themselves talk about the women who are there in the metro cities. वो लोग को empowerment जरूरत नहीं है. They are already empowered. The empowerment is needed for them. These are the people who don't have anything in return. These are the people who are not respected. These are the people who work the most. आप rural में जाओगे, you will see your sisters and mothers. They work the most. खेती में. I'm not saying this is not to put men down. Not saying that men don't work. But this is to say that these are the respect that you have to give to them. Nobody respects them. They have nothing in return. And when we talk about women empowerment, let us talk about the women in the rural sectors, not only in the urban. Chennai, Calcutta, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi. India का पहचान जो है is from the rural belt, not from the urban belt. So, gentlemen, one more thing I have noticed is that if you give respect, it's not a matter of you or your ego. You know, true strength of any man or woman is not in standing above, but in lifting the others who stand with you, lifting them with respect. Real men walk taller when they walk beside empowered women. Always remember this. Please respect women for what they are. Because you guys are going to go and work with women on board. How many of you want to work with women on board? I always wanted to work with women on board. लेकिन लड़की कोई है नहीं. क्या करें? उस time. Okay? So most probably you will find girls on board now because there are a lot of girls are coming in. But you have got to know how to respect them. Gender diversity का studies बहुत सारे हो गए. Yet the end of shipping is spending a lot of time, money, energy on सागर में समान projects. But you have to know how to respect women. Because आपका अंदर में आपका सोच अगर गलत है ना, अगर सोच नहीं है, तो no matter how much training I give you, it is not going to be of any use. Right? So this is the second mantra that I give you. The third mantra, which is extremely very valuable to me, and it's something that I really adore, and it is building beyond competition. Okay? All of you will become chief engineers one day. ऐसा कोई मैंने नहीं देखा, अगर आप छोड़ के नहीं जाते हो, ऐसा कोई नहीं देखा who has joined as sole engineer never become a chief engineer. Everybody will become successful in becoming a chief engineer. But question is not whether you will become a chief engineer. Question is whether you will become an effective chief engineer. Whether your work will be effective. Right? Even Team India can play without a captain. But will that team be effective? So, in order to make yourself effective, you have to go beyond books. You have to go beyond out of syllabus. You have to hear me, people like me talking to you out of syllabus. One of the things, of course. So, how do you go beyond books? How do you go beyond your competency level? So, I get a lot of calls from students, sir, नौकरी नहीं मिला क्या करूँ? I get a lot of calls from seafarers to call me and say, sir, नौकरी नहीं मिला क्या करूँ? I want to shoot a show. I said, करना क्या चाहते हो? They are lost. They don't know. And it's okay not to know. But somebody called me last month and said, sir, I want to do skill development. कौन सा जगह क्या पढ़ाई करूँ? I said, be prepared to take up a job which does not exist. And he was like, क्या बोल रहे हो सर? पागल तो नहीं हो? How can I take up a job which does not exist? I said, if you are training yourself to do a job which is going on right now, then it is futile because the technology is changing so fast that job will not be there. Another question which I get is, sir, with the automation, with the robotics going on, with the technology changing, काम रहेगा, we will be employed or we will be losing jobs. How many of you think you will be losing your jobs to technology? How many of you think that you will not have a job when you pass out? Tell me. Are all of you sponsored? Are all of you sponsored cadets? No. How many of you think you will not get a job when you pass out? How will you get a job? You are not sponsored, correct? So you have to do that one extra bit, otherwise why? As a company, if I am doing an interview, why will I take you? How many of you think you will get a job? Please tell me. This is something that I am telling you. You have to fight this now you're in first year, second year. You have to fight this when after 2 years when you go out in the market. So all of you think you are going to get a job. So imagine the whole technology changes. And what you are studying today is not relevant tomorrow. Do you think any company will employ you? How are you going to get a job when the technology is changing? How are you going to get a job? So I get this question every day, sir, काम रहेगा ना? Do you get a job with the technology changing every day? Do you get a job? And I tell them technology creates more opportunities than jobs. During the industrial revolution, when machines आया था, हम लोग सोचते थे कि machines will take away all our jobs. But your skill levels are different. And that is why I say you have got to work beyond your boundaries, beyond your books, beyond your competence. If you don't work beyond your books, beyond your competency, you will be wasted because people will not employ you because you don't have that one extra bit of education and skills. Remember one thing I am telling you today, 30th of April. You will join a company, the company will invest in your training, but company will only invest in your training that benefits them. The company will never invest on a training which benefits you and not the company. So it is up to you to invest in your training so that you can benefit any company that you go. It's the other way around. The moment you spend money and funds and time, experience on yourself, that moment is the moment when you become really valuable. So you go to a company and say, I have done this, I'm an engineer, which is of course true. Other than being an engineer, I have these skills which will help me do the work to the best of my capabilities and get added revenue. If somebody sells you something like that, then those who pehले employ you. Right? So successful people spend on themselves, on their self-development. Right? And number 4 is something I'm going to tell you, another real life story. This is actually a story which some of you know. This is supposed to be a real life story, but I don't know. And this is not a WhatsApp story, but I don't know the origin. How many of you know the story of the flying horse? Anybody knows? No. So I tell you, there was a convict from death sentence. उसको death sentence दिया गया था. राजा ने उसको बोला था कि तुमको मार डालूंगा. उनको death sentence है. But before he died, before he was taken away, he said, "Sir, give me one last chance, and I will do something which nobody else does." तो क्या करोगे? ऐसा क्या कर सकते हो जो कोई भी नहीं आदमी कर सकता है? And he said, "I will make a horse fly." So what are you saying? Are you sure? Will you make a horse fly? He said, yes. You give me 1 year time, I will make a white horse fly. So the king gave him one year of time. So he came back home and his wife was like, "Aap pagal ho kya? How come you told the king that you're giving you 1 year time? You will never be able to make the horse fly." So the man says, "Listen, I have 1 year to live. I was about to die. That guy was sending me to the gallows right now. With this sentence, I got 1 year of remission, I got 1 year of leave. Now what will happen in 1 year? The king can die. I might die. Right? The king might be overthrown by an external power who can come and conquer the king. The king might change his mind. Anything can happen in 1 year, right?" And lastly, he says that word which became famous. He says, "And what if I can actually teach the horse to fly?" Really? अगर मैं सिखा दिया उसको the horse will actually fly. So my take on this is never give up. There is always a solution. Never give up. Gentlemen, this is perhaps the most valuable thing you will learn. I have learned is never to give up. When you take failure as a path to success, when you take failure as a stepping stone to success, when you fall down and say it's part of the game, it's programmable that I failed so many times in order to succeed. But when you give up, then you finish. There's always a solution around the corner. And I see it with entrepreneurs, I see it with students, I see it with a lot of people who are on board. People give up. And no matter what the circumstances are, if you give up, you lose. Right? And the last thing which is very close to my heart, which I always say, is that mission above all. So when you go on board, you will not represent your family, you will not represent your institute, you will not represent your caste, creed, religion. You will represent your country. Remember this. I always say this to everybody. When you guys go on board, boys and girls, you will be looked at as Indians. And Indians are still the best engineers and navigators in the world. We are the best sailors. We've taken the job out of the grids. And there's a chance that this job will be taken out from our hands and given to Chinese, Vietnamese and Malay. If we don't perform to potential, it's always India above, the nation above everything else. And I'm saying this at the aftermath of such a huge catastrophe that has happened in Srinagar. The nation is above everything else. So when I wrote this book, my last book was launched, it was called Behind the Tricolor. I was writing another book. I took a gap of 3 years. I did research. And I wrote the stories of 75 freedom fighters whose name has been forgotten in history. If I ask you, how many freedom fighters? So you guys are all from all around India, right? Not only from Calcutta, correct? So let me play a game. So, आप कहाँ के हो sir? You are from where?
I am from Kolkata.
You are from Kolkata. Name 2 freedom fighters of Kolkata.
Shoukat Mukherjee.
Fantastic.
MERI
Fantastic. Please mention. Anybody from Assam? Anybody from Tamil Nadu? Anybody from Tamil Nadu? Yeah. Name 2 freedom fighters from Tamil Nadu. Katabomanan? Katabomanan?
One more.
One more. Okay, how many of you have heard about Kataboma? How many of you heard of Kataboma? See, nobody's heard. You are from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of Khudiram Bose? Do you know who Khudiram Bose is? Do you know who Khudiram Bose is? Just say yes or no. Yeah.
No, sir.
Fantastic. And this is good news for me because that's the premise on which I wrote my book. These freedom fighters did not fight state-wise. They were all together. They fought for a unified nation. They didn't fight for their own states. The problem is when you ask somebody, they will say about their freedom fighters and of their own states, but they don't know the freedom fighters of the other states. And I'm not even going into the freedom fight of the lady freedom fighters. So How many people are there? About 50? Okay. I want you to tell me the names of at least 5 lady freedom fighters of India. Come on. 5. And don't Google, huh? Do you have your mobiles? Don't Google. Because if you Google and if you tell your name, I'm going to ask you questions on that person which you answer. Tell me. Rani Lakshmi Bai. Very good. 1. Second. From this side. 1 from this side, 1 from this side. You said Rani Lakshmi Bai. I want to know lady from here, this side. Please. Don't Google. Let's be honest. Come on. Huh? You're not from this side. I asked this side. This side, come on. They are winning by 1-2-0. Bolo. Savitri Bai Phule. Fantastic. Huh?
Idea by Holker.
Ali Bai Holkar. Sir was not part of the game anyway because I know he covered with many. So after 5, Google भी बंद कर देगा बोलना. Okay? In that 72, I have 35 women freedom fighters whose name has been vanquished in history. Vanquished. People who have given their lives for their freedom, freedom that we enjoy, freedom that our fathers and mothers have enjoyed. हम लोग खुला घूम रहे बाहर, and these people nobody knows them. Our history has forgotten. So please, हाथ जोड़ के मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ. Do not forget your nation because there is nothing above nation. When you go, your nation is only going to be supporting you, and you are representing your nations. You are representing your industry, you are representing your profession. Above all, you are representing your nation, right? So, when I go and visit institutes, and I thank them, like I said, many years back, I used to only meet boy cadets and trainees, but now I meet girls and boys. It's a huge difference in the way we are working now, and I am very, very hopeful for a very bright future for you boys and girls. You are much smarter than what we were when we were your age. Let me tell you, you are technologically more advanced, your IQ levels are more, you are more intelligent, your value systems are different. But you need the seniors just like the seniors need you. And seniors and juniors will work together for harmonious success on both. Right? So do not negate the mentorship of seniors. So that was my presentation for today. And before I go on to the Innovation Maritime Awards explanation, is there anything that I can take from you? Any questions, any thoughts? Next 5 minutes. Any thoughts? Anything that you, in all that I presented, it's a very short thing. I could have spoken for the whole day on this, but I just wanted to share my knowledge and my thoughts and learn from you guys as well. So, is there anything that you want to share on these lines that we've spoken to anybody? Please feel free. Anyone? Anybody? Okay, so let me go and introduce you to a program which we are having on the 10th of October. It's okay. Sorry. So let me introduce you to a program we are having on the 10th of October in Mumbai. It's a big event. More than 120 companies are taking part. It's called Technology in Maritime Team. We are celebrating the 5 years of film. It's our 5 years of film. This is going to be produced live to a global audience. Everybody, last time we had 1.5 lakh viewers online when the event was going on. Some of the biggest minds of maritime and technology in maritime come and speak at this event. Last time we had Ms. Padmini Malacheruvu. Anybody has heard of Padmini Malacheruvu? She was the first woman in the world to have written about class rules for hydrogen power vessels. And she was a speaker at my event. She came down from Southampton. She was a speaker. We had the dean of IIT Mumbai, IIT Chennai also at the event. And this time also we have hugely popular and a lot of people come from all around the world to speak at this event. This event is called the Technology in Maritime But why am I talking to you? I mean, MERI is one of the largest software developing companies, the digital solutions companies in the world, and they have partnered with Technology Maritime. He is the keynote speaker. He is one of the most prolific CEOs, the global CTO, Chief Technology Officer and the founder of MERI global CTO of Bernard Chunte, who is the owner of MERI. He is going to give the keynote address. Why I'm talking to you about 3 minutes about this, the Innovation in Maritime Awards. Listen to me very carefully. This can change your life. If you want to be successful, this can change your life. Innovation in Maritime Awards is the maritime industry's one and only platform where we give opportunity to students to submit their innovation papers and thesis and reports and model making. So we've been doing this for 2 years, and the purpose is to highlight the creativity, talent and innovation in students like you. And we believe we have immense talents in students. Some of them don't get the opportunity to showcase their talents and innovation. Okay? So this is a huge platform where there is a global jury, and I'll let you know who the global jury is. See, all these people are joined in their own personal rights. Mr. Shoukat Mukherjee is, sir, he is based out of Kolkata. He is a former CMD of SCI. Captain Rajesh Tandon is the CEO of Cosma. Captain Shoukat is the CEO of Masa. Sonali Banerjee is ex-DMT. She is a very good friend of mine, and most of you know her. She is India's first marine engineer. She is an alumni of DMT itself. Mr. Kaushik Singh is also an alumni of DMT. Okay? And Mr. Sanjeev Mehra, also an engineer. He is the secretary of the Institute of Marine Engineers of India. Captain Tushar Pradhan, General Secretary of Maritime Union of India. Captain Deepti Singh, the first captain to be getting command in fleet management. And Captain Chinna Raju is the head of the IMPC Training Center in Mumbai, an arm of Williamson. So these are all the great grand jury who will be assessing your participation. You have to, so there is a form. Once you scan this code, I will be sending the links to Sir and Dr. Srinivas. Once you scan this code, you will be led to this form. This is the form. All the details of the IAM registration are included in this form. All the categories, what you have to do step by step. All the categories, the top 5. So last time we received over 180 participations from all the Maritime Institute, and the global jury will assess, and they will call 5 winners to Mumbai. We'll be calling 5 winners to come to Mumbai. Out of them, 3 of the winners will be facilitated with certificates and mementos for their, and their innovation will be shown to a global audience. Their innovation will be going to Ministry of Shipping as well as International Maritime Organization, I know. So imagine how prestigious it is if you win an award. You will make waves. You will be proud. Not only you will make your institute proud, you will also get a stamp of recognition. And when you go out, your CV will read winner, participation, and winner of IIM, so and so. It will immediately enhance your skill levels and CV, right? So, a selection process, क्या होगा यहाँ पे सब कुछ दिया. What are the categories in which you can submit award? You can submit award in health and safety, in vessel operations, environmental protection, automation shipboard processes, artificial intelligence, mental wellness, enhancing life at sea, new hardware for maritime applications if there is any hardware. Then how can the existing hardware be modified with your creation and make life better? Any of your innovation which can make life better at sea or shore, but it has to be relevant to maritime. Or you have an innovation which is not contained here, you are free to give your innovation. And some of them make models. Some of them made tank sailing models, some of them made. I will be giving the link of the last year's participation and who won and all the awards and the videos of all the innovations, so you have an idea on what line to think. And once you start, there's 4 months left. You have to start now. And Dr. Malini Shankar, the Vice Chancellor of IMU, is a guest of honor in this event. And she will be attending, and I have requested her to also promote the event and send it to all the IMU so that we get access to all the students who can participate. Participation is absolutely free of cost, and we want maximum number of participation from all the institutes so that we shine, giving you this opportunity. I've been telling sir, when we were growing up, we never got the opportunity to come on stage and speak or share the stage with MD CEOs or even, let alone give innovation ideas. But because we didn't have, we made it a point to give it back to the industry. Because we didn't have this opportunity, I want to give it back to the industry and give you the opportunity to shine, opportunity to portray your innovation to the rest of the world. So there is a word limit, there is a document which you have to upload, and probably a video of your creation, and you are one of the brightest minds in the industry. So I think I'm looking forward to maximum participation from this institute. So prototypes, submission process. If your prototype model gets the eyeballs of the jury, then the IIM team as well as the jury, and because we work very closely with over 120 institutions, including FOSMA, MASA, Maritime with India, we will try to get funding for your innovation. Right? So imagine you have an innovation and you get a fund to do a research, to make a prototype and things like that. So the sky is the limit. If you have a good idea, if you can make something creative, there are ways to promote your creativity, get your patent, and you can actually become an entrepreneur. Right? So all these things are the judging capabilities: innovation and concept, feasibility, economic cost parameters, technological advancement, environmental sustainability, safety and risk reduction, prototype, impact on mental well-being, scalability, supporting documentation, clarity, and all these should come through the institute. Because your students, if you have to, please, it should come through the institute. The institute should send us the documents and we will announce it on the day if you win. Right? So this is something, and then you fill up the form and you upload the document, upload the video and press submit. You will get it, somebody will be in touch with you. And if you need any clarification, you will send a mail, you will call us anytime, we will have somebody to clarify your doubts regarding, and you can form groups. It is not an individual participation, you can have groups of 3 or 5 people working on a project. And each entry will get a participation, even if you don't do it. Everyone, each one of you will get a participation. Correct? So this is what, are you guys interested to participate?
Yes, sir.
Another one. Are you guys interested to participate?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I believe, being from Calcutta, I believe that, again, DMIT is one of the brightest institutes, and I think there should be a winner from this. And then we project it to the world. Right? So, sir, thank you very much again for this time, and I hope I'm not taking time out from your busy schedules, from your studies. I thought I'm engaging with you. It's been a lovely audience. And if there is anything to share in the next 30 minutes, you can, on any topic, on anything that you want, any thoughts, any discussions, anything, because sometimes you don't get an opportunity to interact with the industry. Anything that you want to ask, I'm there to answer in the next 30 minutes or so, and or else we'll end. Anything? Like no answers, no questions? No questions, you don't want to ask any questions, you don't have any questions about what's going to happen, how is going to be the sea life, how is going to be this, that, and nothing, when you pass out, nothing of your competency, nothing about your after training, career growth, nothing. Yes, please.
Sir, as you were talking about being successful, so may I ask that what are your thoughts about the statement that money is not important to being successful?
First of all, who said this statement? Is somebody said this statement?
A lot of people who are successful, they say this.
Yeah. So, thanks for asking. This is a wonderful question. So he says money is not, what was it? What he said? Money is not important
for being successful.
See, there was a small story in Bengal when we were growing up. Please sit down. At that time, Swami Vivekananda was under the aegis of the teachings of Ramakrishna. And both of them were suffering because they didn't have any money, and then Vivekananda was going through a turmoil. He was sick, he was bankrupt, he didn't have any money, so he went to Sri Ramakrishna and said that I want to go to God and ask for money, wealth, and everything. And Sri Ramakrishna said, yeah, go and ask. So Vivekananda went to in front of the Kalima and then Hath Jod Kar Gaya, but he could not ask. He could not ask for money well. First time he went, he could not ask. Second time he went, he could not ask. Third time he went, he could not ask. Only thing he could ask is, give me Shanti. So I have something which I do. I never ask for money from God. I ask for Shanti. Because money नहीं रहेगा तो anyway शांति नहीं रहेगा. और शांति रहेगा मतलब money तो आ ही जाएगा. ये तो शांति तो आएगा नहीं. Right? So money is important, wealth is important, but it is not so important that you sacrifice your happiness to get that money. Otherwise, this money is not worth. Imagine if I give you 50 crores and I tell you, you have to be in Tihar jail for 10 years. Okay, 50 crores to you and you have to be in Tihar jail for 10 years. How many of you will say yes? Honestly. So you see, when I put money against good life, everybody wants a good life. You don't want money, correct? But money is important. How you get that money and how you utilize that money and what that money does in your life is very important. I am always a supporter of a good growth, abundance of money and wealth and power and everything. But yes, after the end of the day, if you have one night of peaceful sleep, if it is affecting your sleep, that money is not only not important, it's significant. You want to throw it all away. Right? My father used to say, when character is gone, something is gone. You know, when money is gone, nothing is gone. Because you can get it back. But when health is gone, everything is gone. So there's a saying which says, you have a lot of problems till you have a health problem, and then you have only one problem. Because then the health problem becomes everything. But good question, thanks for asking. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any questions, any thoughts? Anything which is like a magic potion you drink and you become wealthy? Anything? No? Right, sir. So thank you very much. Thank you, and it's been a lovely day. And lots to learn from you.